Thanks for joining me for this week's quick business tip. I'm Jennifer Swineford with Limitless Impact Agency, and today we are tackling a big, scary problem, something that is especially relevant if you are a coach, consultant, designer, realtor, really anyone whose business is essentially selling themselves. We're talking about marketing yourself when you are the brand, you are the business, and specifically diving into one of the biggest hurdles that stops so many talented people from stepping into their greatness, and that is the fear of judgment. So let me ask you, does this thought of putting your own face on a video, sharing valuable advice, or even just consistently posting on social media make your palms sweat? Do you worry about what people will think? Do you worry about whether you're really good enough, smart enough, or if your advice is valuable enough to be doing what you're doing? If so, I want you to know that you are absolutely not alone. Fear of judgment isn't just about vanity, although I'm sure there's a little bit in that for a lot of people. But when your business really is you, putting yourself out there feels incredibly vulnerable. It feels like you're putting your expertise, your personality, and even your own personal worth up for public scrutiny. And the specific fear that I hear most often is that deep-seated anxiety that gets tied to imposter syndrome. And that's when you're afraid that people will see you and think, who does she think she is? Is she really qualified to be doing this? Charging that amount of money? And that fear, that judgment, it's not just about a single post or a single video. It's about your fundamental right to claim your well-earned space in your industry. And that fear can be paralyzing, and it is for so many people. And it keeps these amazing people stuck and playing small. So, how does this fear sabotage your marketing and sales in your business? Well, it often looks like this. You do play small. You hesitate to share your biggest ideas or your boldest opinions. You end up hiding behind stock photos instead of showing your beautiful face. Your website copy sounds like everybody else's website copy. And maybe, if you're honest, you're relying a little too heavily on AI generated content. And everything that you're putting out there just lacks your own unique voice. It can also show up as posting very sporadically and inconsistently because that big step outside your comfort zone that comes with showing up consistently just feels too draining or too scary. And you might start off strong, but then you retreat with that first less than positive comment, or when you feel like you're just not getting the results that you expected as quickly as you thought they would come in. Essentially, what you're doing is you're erasing your own uniqueness, your personality, your passion, that voice that makes you truly you from all of your marketing, simply because you're terrified of what someone might think. You don't even know that they're thinking any of the things that they're thinking. And in the end, you become invisible. You blend into all of the other noise that's out there, and you make it nearly impossible for the right clients to find you and do business with you. Now, I know this because I've experienced it myself. And I want to share with you a really personal story because I need you to understand that I I get where you are and that there is light on the other end of that tunnel. Because for the first 20 years of my career, I hid and I hid it. I was the best. I was like the winner of the business hide and seek game. I was building my business and it was somewhat successful. But I, Jennifer, I was invisible. I never posted on social media personally. I would only post on my official Facebook business page. I had no videos of myself, very, very few photos. And I told myself that I was doing this because I was single, I was a female, and I had experienced a quite terrifying stalking incident before I even turned 18 years old. So I convinced myself that my fear was real and rational. And I went so far as to not even put my last name on my business cards. And I'm not telling you not to take measures to keep yourself safe, but don't fall into the same trap that I fell into. Because while I was convincing myself that this was for my own safety, deep down I knew that I was worried about the judgment from other people. I worried about what my friends would think if I started posting all the time about my business. I wondered if they would think I was bragging or that showing up as often as I was planning on showing up would be annoying. And I didn't want to bother anyone because the reality is my friends on social media were friends from my life. They were high school friends and college friends and people that I met at church. They weren't, I hadn't like put together an amazing network of my target clients. Then, about 3 years ago, I decided that something had to change. I knew that hiding behind my business name and generic photos wasn't serving me. And it wasn't allowing me to serve the clients that I was put here to help. Now, I was teaching clients how to do it the right way, but I wasn't taking the steps that I was telling them they needed to take. So I made that conscious step and became very intentional about my personal brand. I started this podcast. I began posting professional photos of myself, sharing my own advice and insights, and showing up consistently online. And I will tell you the truth, it was terrifying. Every post felt like there was this giant spotlight on me. And I kept waiting for one of my good friends to be like, "So what is happening? Why am I seeing you all the time on social media now?" Didn't happen. Something else amazing happened within just 2 weeks. And I want you guys to understand this never happens this fast. Typically, if you're going to do something like this, you're looking at 6 to 9 months before you start seeing sales action from this. So, unheard of short amount of time. I received my very first completely cold lead directly from just consistently showing up on social media. This wasn't a referral. It wasn't someone that I knew through networking events. This was simply a complete stranger who Facebook showed my profile to him and said, "Hey, you might know this person, or you might want to know this person." He had no idea who I was, and he had no idea I was a marketer. But once I accepted his friendship request, which you need to understand prior to this, I would never do. I only accepted a request from someone who I was actually friends with in real life. So I accepted his request. He saw the content that I had been posting. He saw the real me sharing my expertise. And turns out he had actually been looking to hire a marketer. So he immediately booked a sales call. Now, while this quick result was fantastic, that's not really the point. The really point, the real point is that when you show up authentically and push that fear to the side, that's the right path for you. Because just like with anyone else, hiding wasn't protecting me. It was simply limiting me. And playing small wasn't keeping me safe. It was keeping me stuck. So I want to do with you is I want to help you overcome this fear. And the single most powerful thing I can tell you is to shift the focus from you to your clients. And by shifting that focus, you're taking that potential judgment of you and everything that you're afraid of is you, very you centered. And you're taking all of that focus and you're putting it on your most perfect client. And you're asking yourself, who is this person? What are they struggling with? And how can I help them? And then you simply create content around that. You take yourself from very me focused and turn it into very customer focused. And you serve from your heart and you make everything that you put out on social media a service to this amazing, perfect customer who hasn't found you yet. And when you reframe all of your marketing as an act of service, sharing your valuable insights, advice, providing solutions to problems that they have, then everything else changes. And your posts on social media are no longer you seeking validation. It's about you being generous and offering value to the people who really need it. Think about it this way. Have you ever really been worried about being judged for being helpful? Have you ever worried about somebody judging you because you are genuinely sharing something that can change someone's business or someone's life for the better? I'm hoping the answer is no. Because when your intention is nothing more than service from your heart, that fear of judgment, which is very self-centered, starts to lose its power. So now that you understand the big picture, how can we turn this into actual tactical strategy that we can put in place? One thing that you can do is educate your customers. You can share tips, tutorials, and insights that address your perfect customers' biggest pain points. Now, you're not going to share everything because if you did, what would you sell? But you can share so much because it's your own unique personal guidance that's really going to get them the results that they're looking for. You can also inspire them by sharing your clients' success stories or your own journey through struggles that your ideal client struggles with. That will motivate and encourage them to take action. You can show empathy by acknowledging that they are not alone, again, through your own stories or through stories from customer struggles. You can answer questions that they have even before they ask them. And you can make it really clear how they go about working with you. One of the worst things that you can do is put yourself out there and then just hope that they know what they're supposed to do next. Instead, tell them to follow you, tell them to like this post, tell them to comment below, and you'll send them a free PDF. Tell them to use the link to book a free call with you. Tell them what they need to do to take it the next step with you. And don't worry about the judgment, because when your content comes from a place of service, it will naturally start to feel more authentic and less of that icky, salesy, slimy feeling that a lot of people feel when they think about posting on social media. It's also going to attract the most perfect people to your audience because they're going to be the ones that resonate with what you're saying and genuinely need your help. Okay, so it's that time of the episode where I ask you to take one scary step with me. And this is a big one, but it's also so powerful. What I want you to do today is to either post your first or your next video. I want it to be of you, your face, talking and serving your perfect customer with some valuable content. Now, this video doesn't have to be long. It's even better if it's not. And it doesn't have to be perfectly produced. People like buying things from real people, so that imperfection is actually a plus here. Just turn your phone camera, just turn on your camera on your phone. Think of one main piece of advice that your ideal client struggles with, and share this advice from your heart. That's it. And when you focus entirely on serving your ideal client, you forget about how you look or how you sound. You forget about all the potential judgment that might be out there, and you just focus on being helpful. Once you've stopped the recording, go ahead and edit that video, just cut out the front and the back. So turn record on, fix your hair, put on your lipstick, do your thing, push the button again, and then just chop out the button pushing, right? As soon as you've chopped out the button pushing, post that on social media. Post it on all the social media platforms that you're active on. This is the first step towards building the confidence that you need and proving to yourself that you can show up authentically online and you're not going to die. Because showing up authentically when you are your brand and you are your business, this isn't like a one-step magic bullet kind of thing. This is a journey. And it's going to take courage, and it's going to take practice, and it's going to take a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. But the rewards that you are going to get from taking these actions are deeper connections with the right people, attracting better clients much more easily, and building a business that is truly you. And that is worth all of the uncomfortableness that comes with it. Now, if you are struggling to overcome this fear of judgment and build a marketing and sales strategy that feels authentic and is effective, then we should talk. Use the link in the show notes, book your free strategy session with me, and we'll dig into how we can take your own unique voice and your expertise and connect you more easily with your perfect clients. And that will allow you to grow your business and increase your confidence. That's all for this week. Thanks for joining me. I want you to keep learning, keep growing. And until next week, I'm Jennifer Swineford with Limitless Impact Agency.